All right, welcome to the Freedom Flow. I want to just mention a few themes that we're going to be working with tonight, all related to the Exodus. And one thing that we hear again and again in the Torah during the Passover story is, and Pharaoh hardened his heart, and Pharaoh hardened his heart again and again. And it almost is this habitual reaction of hardening his heart. So we're going to counter that by softening the heart. And God even tells Moshe when he comes to the burning bush, take off your shoes. And this is telling us, release those habits and those habitual ways of doing things and soften and be present. And we can almost take a higher path and a free path when we have the freedom to choose and to live as our higher selves rather than just reacting and kind of approaching a situation how we used to. So we're going to be working with a different way of moving, bringing a lot more attention to the back of the heart space and kind of unleashing patterns in the body. And another big theme we're going to work with tonight is the power of speech, because Nisan, this month of Passover, is all about rectifying our speech. And that's really why the central mitzvah of the Seder is Magid, which is this deep storytelling. And in terms of the Sfirot tree, Malchus is related to speech, and Malchus is our kingship, our queenship, and it's also the very last sphira, very most external. But it says in Kabbalah that Malchus, our speech, is directly related to the highest supernal crown, which is our faith. And really, when we speak words of faith and miracles and positivity and light, we unleash this higher supernal faith in us. And we are going to be going through a deep storytelling at the Passover Seder. So this is a way to prepare us to start training our speech to be intentional with our words and to speak words of faith and positivity and positive mantras. So we so often say all day, I am blank, fill in the blank. I am tired. I am forgetful. I am slow. Whatever it is that you are constantly saying about yourself, I am blank. Today we are going to practice with a positive mantra. So let's start by choosing a positive mantra to yourself. I am divine love. I am a miracle. I am Hashem's creation. I am healthy. Whatever it is, let's say it to yourself. And we're just going to start by inhaling our hands up to the sky. And exhale, bring the hands to the mouth and say your mantra. I am divine love. Exhale. Circle it around. Inhale to the sky. Exhale to the mouth. I am divine love. Circle it through. Keep going at your own pace with your own mantra. I'm just going to check on you and make sure the camera's rolling. Keep going. All right, nice to see everyone. A few more rounds like this. Last one, and we'll bring our hands to the belly and start breathing deep breaths, filling up the hands on the inhale, and exhale, feeling the hands fall towards the navel. Activating this breath, Nisan is also connected to the letter Hey, And Hey is the unobstructed breath. It's why we sing and celebrate the song of Miriam, the pure breath. Before the words, before the articulation, before the mantra comes our deep intentional breath. So a few more breaths into the hands, feeling the hands rise and fall. Beautiful. And we're going to come into all fours. So palms under the shoulders, knees under the hips. And we're going to breathe on the inhale, the belly drops towards the mat as the heart lifts. And the exhale, curve the spine, navel comes in. So follow the breath. If you want to go more Kundalini style to really activate the breath, we're going to do quick inhale and exhale movements. A few more. And then we'll come to stillness. We're going to press that right leg behind you like you're pressing the foot against a wall. And then knee comes out to the right, to the belly, and straighten. All right, keep going. Press it back to the side, to the chest, and lengthen. A few more times like this. Activating your movements with the power of this Hey, the power of your breath. And we'll release it down. Come back to central, rock out the hips. And then other side, left leg stamps back. So both hip bones are facing the mat, out to the left, chest, and lengthen. Keep going. We're just starting to get into the opening of the hips. Last one, and then press it down. Then we're going to circle around, really unleashing any stuckness in the back body, the front body. And maybe we'll get into some circles of the heart. Breathing into the back of the heart, the front of the heart, the side of the heart. And then we'll circle the other way. So how can we continuously soften the heart through intention, through breath? Nice. And then right leg is going to lift up, so like we're stamping the ceiling. And then inhale, draw it to the knee, curl in, and exhale, open. Again, inhale, bring it in. Exhale, open. Inhale, bring it in. Exhale, lift. 2 more times like that. And then, last one, we'll step that right foot between the hands. Sink the hips. If you have blocks or cookbooks at home, whatever you have, you can lift up here if you need the ground a little higher. Otherwise, just sink the hips down towards the mat. Breathe into the hips. And then we'll walk the hands back, curl the toes. Long stretch over the right leg, pressing through the heel, and the toes curl in. Keep activating the breath. And we'll walk the hands to the front, sink the hips. And come on back, exhale to lengthen. And then inhale to the front. A few more times like that. Exhale to lengthen over the leg. And inhale to the front. And we'll meet at the front of the mat. We'll bring the right hand on the inside of the foot. And we'll just deepen. And you can either stay on your hands or you can come onto your forearms. And release any tension in the face, maybe between the brows, the jawline, the eyelids. And when we soften our face, it's a reminder for our whole body to soften. If you're on the forearms, we'll lift up, come back to the front. And then back knee lifts. We'll come into a plank pose. So press into the heels, navel lifts towards the spine, and then sink the hands into the mat. Again, we can start our mantra now. I am strong. I am divine love. And when you hear that negative self-talk coming, we replace it with this positive mantra. All right, bring the knees down. Heart dips into the mat. Inhale, cobra. Just peel the heart off the ground. Shoulders back. And then exhale, we're just going to come back up to all fours. And just rock the hips right and left. So the right knee and the right ankle are going to be in a straight line. Left bottom of the foot stamps the sky. Inhale to open and exhale knee to the chest. Curl in. Press into the hands. Open the back of the heart. Follow your own breath. Opening and exhale to curl in. So notice the subtle shifts of the front of the heart, the back of the heart, where you can unlock some patterns. We so often move in a linear forward back or hunched over pattern all day, especially if we're at our computers. And this gives us a chance to unleash those tension lines in the body. A few more like that. And then we'll step that foot between the hands, sink the hips. And again, you can always lift your hands up onto blocks or cookbooks or water bottles, whatever you have on hand. When you're ready, you walk the hands back, anchor the heel and toes curl in towards the heart. And if you're a little bit tight this morning, that's all right. So am I. This is just warming up. And every round we go a little bit deeper. Use our breath to soften a little bit more. And we replace that negative self-talk in the head. In times of discomfort, notice, how are we speaking to ourselves? And how can we bring some more words of compassion and kindness onto our breath? We'll meet at the front of the mat. Left hand comes to the inside of the foot. Maybe roll that foot out to the edge and then sink the hips. Maybe come onto the forearms. Your body, your practice. A few more breaths here. Keep sinking deeper. Keep unlocking tension, maybe around the temples, the jaw, the neck. And we'll lift on up. Hand comes to the outside of the foot, lift the back knee, step back to plank. I am strong. I am powerful. Press into the hands, say your mantra. And then knees come down, chest. Inhale, peel it off the ground, shoulders away from the ears for cobra. And then exhale, we'll come back into our first down dog of the morning or evening, wherever it is for you. And just start off this down dog by pedaling out the ankles, right and left. Maybe looking right and left with the head. Just notice what is arising within you today, physically, emotionally. What are we working with today? And then we'll find some stillness. Press the heart towards the back of the thighs. Inhale. And then exhale, we'll walk or jump between the hands at the front of the mat. Forward fold. Bend the knees slightly to really release the lower back. Lengthen the spine, crown of the head dips to the ground. And what can we release today? Maybe it's a negative word, a phrase that we've been saying to ourselves. How can we empty a little bit today so that we can have more space for freedom, for divinity to enter into us this month? And like we're rising from slaves to free people, we're gonna roll all the way up. Breathing the breath of freedom. Inhale the hands to the sky, exhaling over the mouth. Say your mantra, I am divine love. Whatever your mantra is today, we'll inhale it again to the sky, exhale to the mouth. Maybe we'll even dip it all the way to the ground. Inhale and exhale to the mouth. I speak words that ripple peace and light and love into the world. Exhale, dip it down. Inhale, sweep it up, back to the mouth. I vow to speak words of intention and peace, softness. Exhale, dip it. We receive divine abundance and we speak faith and godliness into the world. A few more like that. I am divine love. I am divine love. I am divine love. I am divine love. Last one. I am divine love. Now we're going to bring our hands to the lower back. Press the hips forward, open the heart. Any place that we've hardened our hearts towards ourselves or towards others, We find a way to soften. We open, shoulders pull in, and then exhale to forward fold. Inhale, flat back, hands to the shins or to the upper thighs. Exhale, float it down, step back to plank. Press into the heels, navel lifts to the back of the spine. And then we're gonna chaturanga, and this time go into upward facing dog. Curl the heart open, chin lifts. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're gonna start our flow. So we're gonna go first through it slowly and then breath to movement. So we're gonna inhale, right leg lifts to the sky. Top of the thigh faces down, hips are level. Then we'll look between the hands. We'll step the right foot between the hands. We're gonna lift up to a high lunge. Palms face towards each other. Deepen into that front leg. And then hook the thumbs. Heart presses forward and the hands lift. So it's a forward lift movement of the heart. Stay right here, or you can flutter it up and down, kind of unlocking the back shoulder space. And then we're gonna exhale the hands down to the mat, look forward, and we're gonna lift that back left leg. Kind of running out of space over here. So back leg lifts, and you can stay here, come onto blocks, or hands to the heart. So keep breathing. Keep lifting the back foot, and then exhale, hands come down. Bring that right hand a little bit to the outside edge of the mat, and then hand can come onto the hip, or bend the top leg, hold onto that foot and kick into the hands. And then start dipping the head towards the mat. Keep kicking into the hands. Breathing into the front of the heart. Pulling the shoulders together at the back of the heart. Beautiful. Hand comes down. Left leg comes back. And then we'll lift the knee towards the heart. Exhale, open. Bend the knee, open the hip, look under the forearm, maybe roll the ankle out. And then top of the thigh faces downwards. And then lower that foot, coming into a plank. Beautiful first side. Lower chaturanga to upward facing dog. Lift the tops of the thighs off the ground as you curl forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. A few breaths here. Then right foot anchors to the ground, left leg lifts. Top of the thigh faces downwards. Look between the hands, step it through. So really anchor your footing here. You might want to bring the feet a little bit wider for some more stability. And then inhale up to high lunge. So hands can face towards each other. This time, anchor or tangle opposite thumb on top. Bring it together so the shoulders are square, but the heart pushes forward and up. Maybe you want to flutter the fingers. Maybe you want to stay in stillness. Wherever you are, find your breath deepen into that front leg. And then exhale, float the hands down to the mat. Bring them a bit forward, maybe a few inches, and then lift the right leg back. So stay right here if this is enough for you, otherwise hands to the heart. And you can fly your arms back or to the side or keep them at heart center. Anchor into your foot and then exhale, hands come down. Walk the left fingertips a little outside to the mat. Either hand comes on the hip or bend and hold onto the back foot. Kick into your hand, dip the crown of the head down to the ground. Shoulders are pulling together. Heart is opening. This is a nice back bend. Keep kicking into the hand, anchoring through that left leg. And then we'll release. Bring that right foot down. Sink into the hands. Knee lifts into the chest. And then exhale. Left foot lengthens. And then settle it down. Plank, and we'll go into our vinyasa flow. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. A few breaths here. Now we're going to go through that breath's movement. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, sweep it down. Inhale, lift. And exhale, right hand comes down. Maybe you need to step it back. Bend the knee. Heart opener. Hands come to the mat. Step the back foot down. Knee lifts and up. Open wide. And then sink it down, chaturanga. Bend the elbows, dip the heart, lift. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right foot plants into the mat. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, knee comes in. Step the foot through. Find your footing. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, sweep it down. Inhale, lift the back foot. Find your balance. Fly. Hands come down. Left fingertips move outwards. Bend the knee open.
Now you're gonna get free this time. Falling into a blue sky mind.
Notice what you're saying to yourself right now, and how can you soften the words and speak words of positivity and hope, even in places of discomfort. Release the hand, step the foot back, knee lifts, and send the leg back, and then exhale, bring it down. Plank pose, bend the knees, chaturanga. Inhale, upward. Exhale, sink the heels, shoulders away from the ears, long spine. Beautiful. Notice the directionality and the texture of the breath. This time we're going to bring the right leg up, bend the knee open. And And then square the hips and the right knee comes to the outer right wrist. So we're setting up for pigeon here. Take a glance over the left shoulder. Notice if your ankle is in line with your hip. If not, adjust. And we'll stay right here, or you can come onto your forearms. If you have a bolster, that's also a great option. And find stillness, or if you want some dynamic movement, we'll keep the fingers a little bit wider than the elbows. And we're going to inhale, lift the crown. Exhale, dip the third eye towards the mat. Drink it up. And keep flowing. Exhale. Inhale, lift. Stay strong on the fingertips, broad in the shoulders, yet soft through the hips, and soft through the heart. Like we're rippling the spine up and down, unleashing our tension patterns from the week. And we'll come back to the forearms. And think about a place or time in your life that you can incorporate more deep storytelling that tells the story of faith and of hope. Either in the Seder, how can we bring this deep storytelling wisdom to our table, to our loved ones, or maybe in an interaction, in a circumstance in life. And we'll lift up to the hands. Breathe in, lifting the whole from the pubic bone all the way up through the navel. The heart lifts and the crown lifts. And tuck the back toes. We'll lift the knee back up to the sky. And then float it down. Plank pose, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Lift the chin, shoulders are back. Exhale, downward dog. 2 breaths here. And we'll lift the left leg on the inhale, float it up. Keep pressing the right heel down. And we'll bend the knee, look under the forearm, maybe roll the ankle. Nice, hip bones facing downwards, square the hips, and look between the hands. Left knee comes wide to the outer left wrist. Try to bring the right ankle as parallel as you can to the knee. Take a gaze over the right shoulder. Find that long, nice line. And we'll sink the hips. Stay right here if this is enough for you. Maybe come onto a bolster, or we'll come onto the forearms. And for those of you that need more stillness and quiet, stay right here. If you want some more engagement, bring the fingertips strong and wide. Ripple the spine. Forehead dips to the mat. Inhale, scoop it up. Follow the breath. A few more like this. And then we'll come onto the forearms if you're not already. Soften the hips into the mat. And then lift onto the hands. Tuck the right toes. The knee comes in and float it back. Press into the hands as you lift the shoulders away from the ears. Float it down, chaturanga. Inhale, dip the hips. Exhale, sink the heels down. And just notice how this down dog feels different from the first. Maybe you have some more space, a little less tension, a little more confidence. Whatever it is, be sure to tell yourself a mini congratulations, a mantra, a positive phrase. You've worked so hard. You're doing great, whatever it is. And then look between the hands, step or jump to the front of the mat, forward fold. So the heart melts towards the ground. Bend the knees. Palms can rest on the ground. And this forward fold is an act of humility. Just like matzah that we eat at the Seder is the ultimate symbol of humility. And this month is about being humble, being small, so that we can receive great divine abundance and miracles. So the more we can release and let go in ourselves, the more space we have for above blessing to receive. We'll roll all the way up with this knowledge. Breath of freedom, filling up with new life, new energy. Exhale to the sky, down to the mouth where we speak these words of faith, of greatness. Then we'll bring the right thumb over the left. We'll step the right foot forward and the back toe points as we butterfly our hands to the sky. Coming into a miniature dancer's pose. So it's a nice heart opener. Gaze towards the sky, the heavens, and then exhale, float it down. Left thumb this time will come over the right. Left foot steps forward. Point the back toe. Inhale to butterfly up. Smile if you can. And exhale, float it down. Just checking in on everyone. Nice. So now we'll bring our feet out wide. And we'll sink the hips down towards the mat. Hands come to the heart. Now use that breath to keep deepening into the pose. And on the inhale, we're going to dip the hands, sweep it up. Exhale, bring it in. A few more times like that. Inhale. And exhale. Sink it down. Keep going. Noticing the softness of your breath. What words are floating around your head, and how can you infuse a little bit more softness and compassion into those words? Last one, we'll come into a star pose. Hands are activated. Heart is wide. And then hands come onto the hips. Tuck the toes towards the knees. And we'll dip the heart forward and down. You can either bring the hands behind interlace the knuckles and behind the skull for a shoulder opener, or you can rest the hands on the mat in front of you. Your choice, your practice, your day. Freedom to choose, and maybe not what we usually choose. Maybe instead of our habits in our yoga practice, we are free to choose new path. Two more breaths. If your hands are interlaced, bring them to the mat in front of you. And then hands come to the hips as you lift all the way up. Step to the front of the mat if you're not there already. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, swan dive forward. Step back into plank. We'll flow through a vinyasa. Always option to skip that. Few breaths in down dog. And then we're going to bring the knees wide, tuck the toes, sink the hips back, and forehead rests on the ground. So walk the fingertips a little bit forward to lengthen the spine. And we're coming into another matza type pose where we're flat. Matza represents nothing puffy, no ego, no arrogance, no room for anything but the bare simplicity. And for us, that is our breath. The sweet inhales and the sweet exhales, nothing else. And we'll walk the hands up, bring the hands behind you, and we'll lift the hips, open the heart, shoulders squeeze together, tops of the thighs lift, and exhale, bring it down. And walk it forward, back to child's pose. Breathing in and out through the nose. We eat so much matzah throughout Passover to achieve this humility, right? The first night of the Seder is the bread of faith, and the second night is the bread of healing. So preparing for that, we enter into the sweet humility of the bare bones of the body and the breath. Just returning to a humble beginning. And stay in child's pose, or we'll come into another heart opener. Walk it back, hips lift, heart shines wide and open, and bring it down. And then we'll come with the knees together, hero's pose. Sitting on the heels, bring the hands to the tops of the thighs, roll the shoulders back and down, lift the crown. And think of a word or a phrase. Maybe it's your mantra, maybe it's a new word that came through you of positivity. And just breathe it into the heart center. A few breaths here with this positive word floating through you. And then we'll lift onto the knees, tuck the toes, and just sway the legs up and down until you find that sweet point where it's strength, but it's not too much work. So maybe it's here, maybe it's here. Find that sweet spot. And then wherever that sweet spot is, then you'll bring the hands to the heels and you'll open wide. So take off your shoes. God said to Moshe, how can we release those hard places in the heart? How can we grow and expand in places that feel so stuck and jaded? Last inhale, and then come back up. Tops of the feet down. And then we'll just come into a seated pose. Just a tiny bit of core. If you want to skip it, I'll meet you on your back. Knees are going to lift parallel to the ground. Open the palms wide to receive. The horoscope of the month is Aries, which is pure receiving. So we receive whatever is offering us in this moment, whether it's discomfort, joy, insight, pain, sorrow. We receive it openly and we give space for it. Hands can come to the heart and press the heart up. And stay right here, or we're going to go right. Right knee bends towards you, left leg lengthens on the inhale, and then exhale to lift. Inhale, exhale, lift. And just go through at your own pace. The main point here is activating the core. And through the twists, we're wrapping the whole core with strength. Last one. I'm sorry, I said last one. Open the palms and then tops of the feet come to the mat. All the way, we'll rest all the way on our backs. Bring the knees into the chest and sink the back into the earth. Giving ourselves a big hug. And then we'll come into happy baby. So hold on to the outer edges of the feet, open wide, and keep sinking the lower back into the mat. Shoulders press down. Maybe rock right and left. Maybe you want to stay in stillness. Oh, I'm noticing some beautiful plants above me. What are you noticing right now? The beautiful green that Hashem created. So healing and enlivening. You can speak your observation, your truth, activating this rectified sense of speech. And then knees come back together. Extend that left leg long. And then the right knee comes up and over the body. Open the right arm parallel to the shoulder. Then just gaze over that right wrist. Breathing deeper into this twist. Noticing the subtle curve of the spine, the longness of the leg and arm. Maybe you have a sweet smile on your face. Then we'll come back to center, bring both knees in. And then elongate that right leg, hug the knee towards the chest, and then bring it over the body. Left shoulder is anchored into the mat, and then just open the palm softly to receive from above. breathing softly, sweetly, slowly, sending the breath to any area of the body that needs some extra love and attention. Nice, and bring it back in. And any last pose you want to do here on your back, you can take time for it. Otherwise, we'll open into our final Savasana. So palms open to the sky, feet gently resting, safe on the ground. You can close your eyes and enter into this openness of Nisan. And in Kabbalah, Nisan is connected to a newborn child, childhood, in that we are innocent and just open to receive. The Jews were lifted out of Egypt. We didn't work at it, we didn't earn it, we didn't merit it. We were just lifted like a newborn. So the work this month is to surrender into presence and allow the miracles that are flowing down, allow them to be received in this vessel of the body, in the heart, in the mind. We don't have to do anything. We just have to be open to receive. Every breath we are receiving life from above. Our inhale is the supernal out-breath. Our body is receiving our breath, and our breath is receiving life from our source. And each inhalation and exhalation, we become more free. And you can wiggle your toes and fingers. Bring some movement into the body, maybe rolling the ankles and wrists. And come onto the side, like we're newborn, opening our eyes for the first time. We'll come up to a seated pose. Bring our hands to the heart center. Thank you for practicing with me today. May we all be free, free from suffering, free from our own Egypt, our own constrictions, and free to serve God by stepping into our highest, freest, most beautiful selves. Thank you. Have a beautiful Passover and beautiful Nisan.